Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hard Nine podcast. I am Mike Noble, as always, joined by Caleb Noble, where you can find our Twitter handles right here, and you can find our overall Twitter stuff involved in our bio. Today is April 6th, 2023, off day for the Cardinals, who, as of right now, are in last place in the NL Central.
Yeah, about as from a high of being the Blue Jays, the way they shelled Chris Bassett on Sunday was at the game. It's taken a whole 180 the entire season as of now. It's not in a good spot. The vibes are down. Everything's weird. The last 3 days, I felt like a fever dream. Like I don't even know what happened. We just won a series against one of the best teams in baseball, and now we come in get swept. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Tyler O'Neill drama. I don't know what the hell is happening.
What happened with Tyler?
Let's get into that in a second, but I don't know what the hell is going on.
Okay, let's look into this way. All right, before we get into the Tyler stuff, because I got lots to say. One, offense still looks very, very good. Okay, like the offense, I looked through today. You have everybody in your initial, let's call it 10 guys now with. I'm going to include Burleson in there and Carlson in there.
I think 11.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All above league average and OPS except Tommy and Nolan. That's it. Those are the only two. Nolan 92. That's not
Nolan are
Tommy pretty rough. But we also have. I mean, then you look at Gorman's 1,400 and 297 OPS plus, like his 1,400 OPS. I mean,
great.
The offense. Here's the thing. Let's say this. We don't have to go into a rep. We talked about game one the other day. Cardinals should have won yesterday. They should have won. Like, honestly, how many balls did they hit? Like when you look at the stats, and I should have written these down, but you got Michael Harris takes a home run away. Goldie,
that was a great play.
Incredible. I mean, he's incredible. He's so much fun to watch.
I love that guy.
Goldie puts his head down and just runs. People wanted to blame Pop today. They wanted to blame Pop yesterday. Goldie was
Pop's
because
fault. What the fuck was Pop doing on that?
That's a great
question. He wasn't
question.
even paying attention.
I think, honestly, Goldie had his head down with 2 outs and was going home no matter what. I really do.
He wasn't even in the coach's box.
Yeah, well, he was down the line. So, again, I don't know. I don't know that. Either way. But then late innings, Gorman rips a ball that, I mean, just destroys. Matt Olson makes an incredible play coming out, holding on the guy coming off the base. Really good play. And that's followed up by 2 more doubles. Like I'm going to felt like back. They should have won that game.
I'm going to push back on they should have won that game because the reason I will is because the Braves have Matt Olson, who, in my opinion, is the best defensive first baseman in baseball. And they have Michael Harris, who's up there with Buxton for the best defensive center fielder in baseball. They have those guys there for a reason. Like, they're there to make plays.
I understand.
So, like if Nolan, who does this on a weekly basis, makes a crazy play to help you win the game, that's why you have that guy. Like, so we shouldn't have won the game. They have those guys there to do that. They have elite talent. They're doing elite things. The Braves are a great team. Like, if there's a takeaway that's not so negative and down on the Cardinals, Braves are an awesome team. They are the best team in the National League by far. Like, we thought the Mets and the Padres were close, maybe. They're not. They're not.
Right. I agree.
And the Braves did this with, like, the depth they have, the fact that they've been able to trade away a bunch of guys for the Sean Murphys and the Matt Olsons of the world, and still have guys like the kid from SEMO Dodd, who had great, awesome story for him to come up and shove, strike out Nolan for your first strikeout ever. It's pretty cool. They have guys like that to still come up and do their job. The Braves are just a well-oiled machine right now. They are the standard. If you're the Cardinals and you're looking at anybody that's not spending like the Mets, that's not spending like the Padres, and you want to say should we try and be like, they're the standard, in my opinion.
Okay, you and I have talked about this before on here. We did our first power rankings. 1 and 2 were the Astros and the Braves for a reason. They have drafted and developed players and extended their guys. But what they have also done is this, and we're going to get into this in a minute. I'm sure when we talk about the Cardinals pitching, you and I have said multiple times, the way to win is to draft and develop young pitching at who are major league pitchers. All right. I mean, stars is another level, but you know what I'm saying. And then fill it in with the guys that can go around, either proven stars. We see Charlie Morton on the Braves. Who's he surrounded by? Dodd, Elder, Fried, Strider. I mean, who am I missing? Ian, Kyle Wright, all guys they drafted, developed, and are ready for the major leagues. Look at the Astros. They had Verlander, but who were they surrounded by? McCullers, Javier,
Framber. Those guys are international signings, but either way,
right. But still, those are guys that they brought into their organization.
It's the same.
And if you want to make the argument, the Dodgers have done the same thing.
They have
Kershaw. I mean, all their guys, honestly,
they have.
Brought,
we don't need to go through all of them.
Right. You're right. But what I'm saying is the Cardinals have not done that.
Here's my biggest problem. It's not even with the team construction. That is what it is. The team is what it is. All offseason, I know these 5 guys because Jack put it in his hype video. Have heard the rotation is going to be the problem. The rotation is going to be the problem. No one's going to step up. They're going to need to go get rotational help. That doesn't motivate any of you. Not one.
Right.
Not one of you were motivated to go out there and put a good effort up and get your team a win. Hell, get a fucking 0 in the first inning. One of you, other than Jack, put up a 0 in the first 2 innings. You're major league pitchers. You've all 5 of you have been in playoff runs. So you face playoff caliber offenses. Any of you put up a good performance. Have some pride in yourself.
Is it fair to say, and I'm again, you're right. It's April 6th. But the problem is,
it's so frustrating.
It's PTSD for Cardinal fans because, like I just said, we've seen it for 8-9 years now under Mozeliak. We have. This isn't new. So it's almost like it's a recurring nightmare. Well, it's true. It's true.
Well, 2015 they had the best rotation in baseball.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is 8. That's 8 years ago.
Since then,
Caleb.
probably.
That's 8 years ago.
So I don't know what 2016 was. Yeah, it's been bad for a little bit. The thing that's so frustrating.
Well, here's the problem.
Maybe
they can't. Hold on. Let me just address what you just said. Is it fair to say maybe they can't step up? I mean, we have said all along we have a rotation of 3 through 5s. You can't win with I will say right now. It is April 6th. Let's relax. It's 2 starts for Miles and it's 1 start for everybody else. We don't know how the rest of the weekend plays out. Milwaukee's 5-1 and looks really, really good. All the rotation has looked really, really good. But against the Mets, who they destroyed, right? Who everybody picked to be World Series possible contenders. So again, it's early. We know that. But the problem is, I think for fans, we've seen it so often that it just continues to go on. We were hoping for something different, including myself. I thought it would be better, but maybe it's all built on sand, dude. Maybe this rotation just isn't good. Maybe we just don't have good major league pitching. Is that something that we have to at some point maybe start thinking about?
Here's the reason I'm not willing to give them a break because it's been 6 games. Now I'm willing to give Miles a break because he earned it. Last year he earned some trust. Now if it happened, give me 2 more starts. If he's still doing this, we'll talk about it then. But 2 bad starts, I'm not going to write off Miles Michaelis. I'm not willing to do that. He's proven me wrong too many times. But that's everybody else,
very fair, and I agree with you.
Everybody else, like the problem that I have is why I'm not willing to give this rotation as a whole. Oh, it's been 6 games. One, we talked about this last week. This is your chance to go out there and say, hey, we're here. We're contenders. We're facing 2 contending teams right off the bat. 2 of the best offenses in baseball. Not one of you, except for Jack, who wasn't even good in his start, stepped up. At least Jack gutted through it. So I'm just going to exclude him from this conversation for now. The other 4, pathetic. Every performance was pathetic. And the biggest problem I have with it is we came into this season knowing this was an issue. So it's not like, oh, it's only been 6 games. It's actually been 2.5 years. Like specifically, let's just get down to the last 2 years. It's actually been 2 years, and you guys had a chance to come out and say, we're better than this. Like we're better than you think we are. And now one of you overperformed what we thought. In fact, you were all worse than even we thought you could have been. You have a 7 ERA as a staff. 7. You're getting outscored 20-6 in the first 2 innings of games. How?
I mean, it's been Zach Thompson's been great.
The bullpen's been fantastic outside Jordan Hicks. The only thing that's weird about this offense is they've got a lot of guys with power, but like almost 80% of their hits have been singles.
Yeah. I mean, it's early.
That's too high. It's too high.
Yeah.
You cannot rely on 3 singles every inning. That's why we keep saying, well, why are they leaving so many people on base? Well, no one's in scoring position until 2 hits. So now you're relying on a 3rd hit. That's not going to happen that often.
The other frustrating thing is we kept hearing how we have to beat good pitching, and we did. We beat Gosman. We beat Bassett. Right? That was good.
And they shelled Manoah. But
the problem is, one thing that does linger is last year, historically, Cardinals very good at home. 2 and 4 start at home. Not if we're in Toronto and in Atlanta, I don't even know if this is this big of a deal. But because the pitching has been so bad, the starting pitching has been so bad.
At home, where you're supposed to be good.
Yes,
7
exactly.
ERA.
That's it. It
Get your
makes you,
best
it does
start.
make you start to, I'm telling you, it starts to make you like shake a little bit because of people that, no offense, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to make light of that situation. I'm just saying, as a Cardinal fan, that's what it makes you do.
Your best start was a guy who had like a 1.5 whip for the game.
Right.
Like Jack Flaherty tomorrow against the Milwaukee Brewers, you better fucking step up. If you want to be the guy,
Against Woodruff, for sure.
I love Jack Flaherty. I am one of the biggest Jack Flaherty fans you will meet. Step up tomorrow. You've got to go give him 7 innings. I don't care. You need to be the ace. You need to be the guy. If you want to, I love the hype videos. They're awesome. Back it up. It's time.
Right.
I'm tired of the talk. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the talk.
Now, let me ask you this. Have they announced, is Woodford going to make his next start, I assume?
Yeah, he will, and he should. Let's be honest. Like he should make another start. One bad start. I mean, it's
That's
magnified.
Fair. I'm just asking.
It's magnified because everybody else was bad.
Right.
You know,
if
he was the only
absolutely
one,
true.
If he was the only one that was tough, no one would be saying take him out of the rotation. They'd be like, okay, give him another chance. But since everyone's been bad, people are just looking for a solution.
Okay, to circle back to what you said, it is March 6th. The world, like the house is April 6th. Sorry, the house is not burning yet. It's just, again, like I said, it is a reoccurring nightmare.
I smell a gas leak.
Years. Yes, but let's get to the biggest news, not just in the Cardinals, St. Louis Twitter, Cardinal Twitter, MLB has. I mean, this has become a big story across the league with what happened with Tyler and Oli. I'm going to let you walk us through it, because I do have a lot of things to say. I don't need to go on all day. I've read everything you can read. I've watched everything you can watch, but I'll let you walk everybody through it and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, I have so many thoughts on this, so I'm just going to lay it out, but I don't even know where I stand. If I'm being honest with you, I really don't. So obviously everyone knows what happened by now, but I'll go through it briefly. Single to the out, first and second, down 3 runs, 2 outs in the 7th inning. They bring in Donovan. Donovan does what he does. He just gets a single to right field. Tyler O'Neill runs the bases. I don't know why they sent him home. And to me, I want to leave that part out of it, because I think it has nothing to do with what we should be talking about. It was a bad send. So let's just say that now. Bad send. Inexcusable, should never happen. Should never send him there. But it did happen. That's irrelevant to me. Okay. Bad send, but multiple things can be true at the same time. I was watching it and I thought he was hurt at first. And then I was like, he's not hurt. And I even tweeted, is he not running? That's what it looked like. It looked like he wasn't running. So we get to the post game. Oli says, and unacceptable. That's not how we play the game. Calls O'Neill's effort piss poor, basically. Like bad effort. He wasn't doing what he should be doing. I'm gonna just go fair.
Just to be fair, after Oli says it was handled.
Yes.
It was handled internally or whatever he said.
Yeah,
so
he talked
before he goes on to bash him, he says that.
Right.
Sorry.
And I don't think it's fair to characterize it as a bashing, to be fair. Like it wasn't that strong a verbiage. He was pissed off. But at the very least, you can say he wasn't blindsided by the fact that Oli was mad at him. Maybe he was blindsided by the fact that it was out in the media, but he knew it, that Oli felt that way. Then Tyler talks about it, basically pushes back, says that's not what happened, that he doesn't want his effort to be questioned, and that it's good to know that that's what Oli feels about him. So that's a big thing. And then the thing that really pisses me off is I don't know why either of them commented about it again the next day. That should never happen. And I am a big Oli Marmol fan. I have been on here. I will continue to defend him. I think he is the best coach we've had since Tony La Russa. Not a high bar, but still, I think he's way better than anyone else.
Lowest bar you could ever set.
Yes, but I still think Oli Marmol is a really, really, really good, smart manager. One thing's not going to make me think any less of that. But to come back out and to even answer any more questions about it, why? Why are you talking about this again?
Yep.
Like it's so frustrating to me. In the first place, I don't like that you did it in the first place. I don't like that you come out and say to the media, why do you want to be in the good graces of the media? Is that the goal here? Because I just don't understand what you're gaining. There's no advantage to this. You're just going to piss him off. And this is the last thing I'll say, and I'll let you go. I watched baseball today with Chris Rose and Trevor Plouffe today. Trevor Plouffe, very close with Jack Flaherty. Okay. Mm-hmm. He said he talked to someone in the Cardinals organization. I don't know if it was Jack Flaherty. That was my assumption. It could have been someone else, but that would be my assumption. Just going to put all the context out there. He said that whoever the person was thought it was very strange. It didn't make any sense why this was happening. To do it 2 days in a row, to do it in general, you can go out there and say if someone's playing poorly, yeah, they need to play better. Okay, fine, that's fair. I think we all think that's fair game. to call into question someone's effort, that's a different beast. That's calling into question what Tyler O'Neill cares about the team. You're basically saying he only cares about himself. Like, let's be honest about this. I have a problem with that. I really do. Talk to him behind closed doors. If I'm Tyler O'Neill, I mean, I am blowing up, and I love Oli, but I have a massive problem with it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. I have so many things to say here that I'm not going to try to go all over the place, but the comments of this is how we do things here, and it's full throttle on let's just start there. It's full throttle when we cross the lines. That's horse shit. We have seen many guys not hustle. And again, I'd like to preface this. I have gone on record into defending Pujols and Yachty in the past with saying I'm okay with them not going 100 miles per hour down to first base on a ground ball in August or July. All right. I have said that before. People don't agree with me on that. But if you're going to come out then and you're going to use these fucking terms the Cardinal way that we all want to fucking talk about, that's not a thing.
He didn't say that.
I know, but that's what the Post wrote about, right?
Well, that's not his fault.
Okay, just let me talk. The Cardinal way has become Marmol's way, is what the article said. All right. My thing is that everybody wants to mention the Cardinal way. Here's what I'll say: you can't come out and do that, because I love Nolan as much as anybody. That dude jogs to first as often as anybody as I've seen on a ground ball where you're going to be out. Okay. So don't come out then and say, yeah. What do you want to say? That's fine.
I just want to retort real quick. Nolan Arenado would never do what Tyler did running home, ever. He would run as hard as he could, and he would.
Okay.
He would never do that. I think the thing where, like, your point, I understand it, and I do get it, and I get that perspective, because it is fair to say there's some hypocrisy in the statements. But what I do think is every human being in that room is smart enough to know, one, their role. Nolan Arenado is not Tyler O'Neill. He's not a speedster. Nolan Arenado is going to play 150 games. Tyler O'Neill doesn't even play that much. So that's the thing as well. But also, circumstances are different. If Tyler O'Neill would have hit a rocket to the shortstop and done the same thing he did, this isn't a conversation. They're not talking. I've seen Tyler do it too. But Nolan Arenado would never not give full effort on the ball like that. Never.
Okay. Let me just retort one more back to you then. Last year, Bader hits a pop fly that's caught 99.99999. The nines could go on forever. % of the time in Major League Baseball. He jogs just like a guy would do on a ground ball to shortstop where they know they're going to be out. He gets benched, aired out in the media, just like Tyler did, on something that literally was happening and what I would say an exact same thing on a ground ball. So I'm not bashing Nolan. I'm not bashing Yachty. What I'm saying is that is absolute hypocrisy, because I agree with you. Nolan goes hard nose home. But if you're going to say, well, it's because it's a different circumstance, what Bader did was the exact same circumstances and we've seen Yachty not even run. We've seen him drop the bat and walk back on a ground ball. All right.
That's
and nothing was said in the media. We've seen him do it on a ground ball back to the pitcher. Oh, okay.
It is though.
Caleb, hold on. Let me finish. Don't come out and tell the world that if you play for me in this organization, it's full throttle all the time, when we sure as fuck know it's not. And here's the last thing I'll say about Tyler. Hold on. Here's the last thing I'll say about Tyler. Sprint speed for 3 years, 29.7, right? That's elite. That's 30 is elite. He's right there at the elite level. It was 28.3, 93% of his normal. It was wet. And I don't think, even if he did expect to get sent, I don't know, or whatever. He obviously was going to be thrown out by 50. I mean, if he's going 29.7, if he's going 29.7, he's still thrown out by 10 feet. They did the math. He was thrown out by almost 18 feet. So don't tell me he's half-assed. He's going 93%. It's wet. The dude has hamstring injuries. Why are we set? Like, there are so many questions. So if you are that pissed at Tyler, fine. Take care of it like you said you did. When the question was asked to Oli about it, it was handled internally. It's where it should have fucking stopped. Right there. Again, I coached high school baseball, nowhere near the same, but never would I air my kids out in front of somebody else or in front of others, ever.
That's different though.
It is, obviously it is. I'm saying that. What I'm saying is, imagine being in that clubhouse right now.
Yeah, before we get to that, because I do want to talk about that. And I do want to say that I believe that there are different expectations for players. There are. And there should be.
Absolutely.
Tyler O'Neill, one of his greatest strengths is running. is running fast, being able to do that. He's elite at it. And I do know sprint speed's weird. It's like your highest speed in a play. He'd sped up when he realized he was going to get thrown out. Like that's when the sprint speed was high, but he was jogging before that, right? Like he was. It's just,
No,
it
from
was
second to third, it was 28.3. It's on stat.
Okay.
Or
But when he
StatCast.
was halfway to home, he wasn't running. Like I've seen enough baseball to know that a Tyler O'Neill on a play like that should not be thrown out by 15 feet ever.
Right. I
O'Kane
agree
didn't
with you.
throw it 100 miles per hour, 92 from the outfield. It should have been close. Like we see enough baseball plays to know what a play like that should look like. I've never seen one with Tyler O'Neill look like that.
Well, just to push back, it shouldn't have been close. The StatCast came out and said he should have been thrown out by 5 to 8 feet. He was thrown out by like 12, 15. So it shouldn't have been close. Even then, it wasn't even going to be
That's
close.
7 more feet, Dad.
I understand, but it still wouldn't have been close. That's all
Running
I'm saying.
100. Okay.
Now,
either way, what I was going to say was there are different expectations. Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt always runs as hard as he can. Nolan Arenado, he's got to stay on the field. So there is things that you do to be able to play more. There are things like you can't run 100% all the time. You're not asking Tyler O'Neill to run 100% all the time. That's not this case. I think that might be full throttle is play to our highest expectations of you. That's what I took by that. That doesn't mean Tyler O'Neill needs to sprint down the first every time. It means
that's not full throttle. Full throttle to me is when you throw it in full throttle, you're going as fast as you can.
Okay, but there has to be some common sense in this. In that situation, there is zero reason to not run as hard as you can. And he even said in his post game that he's trying to play 160 games. If your thought process in that situation is that you are trying to stay healthy, you're not going to be able to compete at your highest level, and you should be called out. Not maybe in front of the media, but if you're thinking, how do I stay healthy while trying to score a run to get you back in the game, what the hell are we doing?
All right, let me clarify. I'd like to summarize what I was trying to say because I think, again, my head goes all over the place. I'm not pro Tyler. Like I'm not team Tyler on this as far as not running. All right, I'm not trying to make him take no fault at this. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not mad. I've gone on record many times about I would never bash Nolan. I'd never bash. I get what they're doing. Okay, that doesn't bother me. My number one thing right here is not just that Oli came out and did it the way he did it, but that he also then fucking doubled down the next day. And that to me is a massive problem. I agree with you. Tyler should have been closer. He should have been. I was not watching the game. He should have been running harder.
He was hurt, Dad.
I went back. Yeah. I know everything's wet. I think that plays into part of it. It's not like he was jogging because he was running at 93% of his peak speed the entire way. For most of it. That was on StatCast. I mean, I saw that stat come out.
The thing that bothers me, though, Dad, is the fact that I saw him speed up.
I know.
I saw it happen, which means he wasn't running as fast as he
Yep.
could. Why?
Yep. Please understand. I want everybody to understand that I'm not saying Tyler's not culpable in this. I'm not saying that.
I get it, and I think that's the problem with this in this Twitter discourse is 5 different things can be true at the same.
Correct.
It was a bad send. Tyler should have run harder, and it still should have been handled differently.
Bingo. I think you just summarized.
To be honest with you, I think Oli handled it poorly. I loved how Tyler handled it, and in terms of the press conference, I don't love how he ran. I think he should have run harder. I think he can run harder. I think he knows that. Okay. That is what it is. People make mistakes. Okay. So I'm not going to say, I don't think this should, I shouldn't question everything, but I also do think, I don't think this is the first incident. And not because I've seen Tyler do anything. So I'm not going to say that. And I don't want to say that I know this for a fact because I don't. I don't think Oli Marmol comes in as hard as he did if he didn't think this is something that needed to be stopped right now.
So can I just,
and the fact that Tyler, and I think a couple of things go into it and then I'll let you go. Sorry. I think the fact that Tyler O'Neill came to Oli and said, I want this center field job. And Oli Marmol gave it to him and said, we haven't seen much of you in center field. You weren't in camp. We're giving you the first crack at it. Go take it. It's insulting if you're going to come out here and now say that you're not running your hardest because you want to stay healthy. Well, then why am I playing you in center field? There's that. And also, do you think Oli Marmol comes in like this at Tyler O'Neill if this was one instance? I just don't. I don't.
Here's what I'll say. All right. First of all, Oli giving him the job is Oli's fucking fault. It's not Tyler's fault. Okay.
It's no one's fault. He hasn't been bad.
Well, okay. I'm just saying. So
it's trusting in somebody.
Okay. But we all know, and I was going to get to this later, but we all know we have one legit center fielder on our team. Elite, and it's Dylan Carlson. That's not even an argument. So why they moved Tyler to center? You and I have come on here before and said, why was Tyler playing center last year when we know he's got hamstring problems? I'll say the same thing again this year. Okay. So that's one separate issue. Two, I never saw Harrison Bader like take a play off except for the one time he got aired out and benched. One time. All right.
It was different, though. It wasn't like this.
It's not. Two, Tyler is a guy who, when he hits a home run, puts his head down and sprints around the bases. Mm-hmm. Every time I've seen him run into walls, I've seen him dive when I'm like, don't dive. People want to question his play game 1 in center field. We were watching that play. If he comes in, he is in no man's land. And if that ball gets behind him, another run scores, and that guy ends up on third. Yeah, no. All right, so that's not even an argument.
It's a triple.
I have watched almost every game. I'm not at practice. I didn't watch. I've never seen Tyler dog anything. And I think when you start to question a player's effort is when you start to lose not just said player, but others around him, especially with a team full of so many young guys. And we know, and I'd like to get to this in a minute too, that the Cardinals do not have the strongest track record over the last 10 years of handling 15 years of handling young players. And I just think that is another list in a lineage of bad check marks of how you handle a young player. Tyler, not a young guy, but I'm saying there's a lot of guys looking at Tyler. He's only 27, but still, it all smells bad. I've never seen him hustle. So your point might be true. I've never witnessed it with my own eyes. I've never heard it even spoken of by anybody, fans, media, anyone. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I have zero proof of that.
Yeah, I just think for me, like Tyler is not that player. He's not a guy that does that. He runs his ass off. Like the guy, it really does. And I love Oli, and some of the criticism towards him, I think recently has been stupid, to be quite honest with you, and unfair. You can criticize a situation without criticizing everything the man has done. It's just like not everything has to be an extreme, and I'm tired of extremes in this world. It's annoying. Tyler, to me, like I have never in my life thought anything about his hustle. No. I've never in my life thought anything. I mean, just the same with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan, honestly. Nolan jogs for first when he knows he's not going to make it. But if he thinks there's a chance, you better bet he's going to fucking try and make it.
I mean, how many times have you and I said, Tyler, you're running too hard, like on a ball to first with 2 outs? Like we've seen
the thing that I think, if I'm Tyler, it might put my mind in a pretzel, is their goal. They tell him to change the way he's running. Like they've done that with him to try and keep him healthy. So now you've got a situation where it might be in his head, like, am I running the right way? Am I risking hurting myself right now?
Right.
If I go full speed, it's wet. I shouldn't be sent on this anyway. And now you're going to air me out. If you want to take him into the office and berate him and say, this is not how you need to play, we need you to be better than this, fine.
Agreed.
Tyler would have taken that. Because guess what? Tyler probably didn't expect to be talked to about this.
No.
Like, I can't imagine how blindsided he felt.
Yeah.
And yes, I'll be honest with you. Yesterday, I was kind of leaning towards Ollie's side on it because I was watching. I was like, it didn't look like he was doing what he should have been doing. I don't even care. What do you gain? You can only lose. What do you gain from going to the media in this situation? And if there's something, and people say it might be a tactic and there might be a way to reach Tyler. If you can't reach Tyler without using the media to reach him for you, you're failing as a leader at that point. Agreed. And I don't believe that of Oli. I think he can reach people just fine by himself. I don't have any doubt about it. I don't think because he's 36 years old, he can't reach people. He managed some of the greatest players of all time last year and did it wonderfully. So I don't believe that at all. I just don't understand why he did this. I don't understand why he doubled down. I don't understand why John Mozeliak spoke about it. I don't understand why they interviewed Tyler again before the game yesterday. I don't understand why all this happened. Tyler says it's a day off, planned day off. Oli doesn't say that. And then he comes in and pinch hits. Yeah. Like, how many mixed signals are you throwing around here?
Here's the way. Okay.
I don't get it.
It could have been, and also it could have all been cleared up so fucking easily. All right. One, shouldn't have aired him out in the media, but did. Put his ass in the lineup the next day. That's all you got to do. You got an off day today anyway. Yes. That's all you have to do. Don't come out and be now I'm getting mad when I think about it, actually. Don't be a fucking coward and call the planned day off in game 6. All right. Don't do that. Hold on. Stop. Even if it is.
He didn't say that. Tyler said that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then my apologies then. I take back what I said. But put his ass in the lineup.
I would have.
That's what I'd say.
I would have. And at the same time, though, there could be.
Here's what sucks, Caleb. Hold on. Here's what sucks is we're talking about this instead of the fact that the fucking pitching is terrible.
We just talked about
Jordan Walker looks incredible. First home run yesterday.
Yes,
Haven't even
true.
got to that on this podcast yet. Feel bad about that. Nolan Gorman continues to fucking do everything they've asked him to and more. Goldie's hitting 500. Brendan Donovan, all he does is hit. Dylan Carlson made 3 incredible plays in center
They hit a
field
double
yesterday.
against a righty.
Shout out to him. All right. We're getting Newt back. Contreras is hitting 333, but all we're talking about is this crap. And that's because Oli put us in this fucking situation. And if it's a tactic, like you said, it's a god awful one.
It's just stupid. And know your players, man. Like, no, Harrison Bader, all the credit in the world for him, because he handled this like such a pro last year and he didn't have to. Like, he could have done what Tyler's doing and pushed back. And he didn't. And he said everything perfectly. I do think there are different standards for different players. And the thing that I people respect about Oli, and Nolan said this when Nolan in the offseason, if you'll remember, said Oli's the best manager he's ever had. Remember that? He said that.
Yeah,
he said,
but okay.
You don't have, hold on. He did say that. He said 5 managers.
I'm not arguing that he said it. I'm not arguing that he said it.
But his reasoning was you don't ever have to guess what he wants out of you and where you stand. You know. So if Oli Marmol says, Tyler, what we need out of you is we need you to run your ass off. We need you to be the athletic freak that you are. And then he turns around and doesn't do that. I understand the frustration. Like the one thing that no one has ever said about Oli Marmol, in fact, they've said the opposite, is that he's not good at communicating. He's great at communicating. He tells you what he needs out of you. So if you're not fulfilling what he needs out of you, I understand why it pisses him off. And maybe it's not the only time he thought that. And maybe it's not the only time they've had a conversation about it. I don't know. It's strange. And I thought it was strange that Tyler talked for so long about injuries during his press conference. Why are you thinking about injuries, Tyler? If
because
you can't play.
Here's what I'm going to say, because we're speculating on Tyler doing it before. We're speculating on Oli being a great communicator, which I believe.
We're not speculating on that. They've said
we are. We don't know.
Nolan Arenado said it. What else do you need?
That's fine. That's one guy. I'm not arguing with Nolan. I'm not arguing. I'm saying we don't know. We're not in the clubhouse. We do know that Matt Holliday accepted a job and then all of a sudden came out later.
They're best friends.
I'm not arguing that, but it doesn't mean that everything was communicated to him. And that could be Oli. It could be the organization. We don't know. All right. So it's true. It's true. Those are facts. That's all I can go by. But what we do know.
Matt Holliday example makes no sense. I can poke so many holes in that.
Well, it does, because you agree to a role knowing what 162 games looks like, but then all of a sudden you back out because you.
And then Joe McEwing took it. It's not like some scrub took it.
I did. I'm not. You're missing the point.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like I don't think Matt Holliday never once said he didn't know the commitment he was getting into.
He actually said it was more than what he was expecting.
So that's Ollie's fault that Matt Holliday.
I didn't say. I said it could have been the organization. That's what I just said.
I think
somebody miscommunicated what the expectations were from him. Either way, irrelevant. Fine. You still handle it in there. That's all you have to do. It's game 5, actually. Handle it in there. Do not air it out on the media. Don't air again. Game 5 for the second time in 2 years. Air out a player in the media.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my number one problem. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't know all the other shit. I don't know what was talked about inside there. I've never seen Tyler not hustle. I don't know if they have. I didn't watch every single thing that's happened. But even if you did, don't fucking air him out in the media. And especially when you're looking at Walker, Gorman, Donovan, Burleson, and all these young guys on there. Like, those are facts. Like, this is, I hope it's not. And I hope that we have enough fucking leadership in that clubhouse that you don't lose a team. That's all I'm saying.
Stop. That's the crazy conclusion. Why are we going to that? It's game 6.
Because it could happen.
Proof of him losing a clubhouse. No one has said that. No one's even. It's also been.
I didn't say he lost it. I'm saying you could create a division in that clubhouse.
No, you won't.
Okay.
You won't.
You don't.
Because then now you're calling into question Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt's ability to command a clubhouse.
That's not what I said. That's not what I did.
If they command a clubhouse, it won't happen.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
So they'll be fine.
Okay. Good.
Those two have been leaders that led team, and Adam Wainwright have all three been leaders on teams that've gone to the gone to the postseason without being with each other. They'll be fine. They've got the leadership to take care of it.
Okay.
And Wilson won a World Series.
They better come out and win on Friday night. That's what I'll say.
They need to make a statement. I don't like that this happened. I think I'm on team. I hate every single part of this.
Yeah, same.
And that's where I'm at. I'm not picking Team Oli, Team Tyler. I think Tyler was in the wrong because he wasn't running as hard as he could. And if you're saying he is, then something's wrong with him and he needs to get it checked out. Oli shouldn't have aired it out. Pop Warner shouldn't have sent him. The whole thing's fucked. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah, so let's move on. What else do we have to talk about?
Well, I mean, do you want to preview this Brewers series or just let it play out and we'll talk about it on Sunday?
No, let's talk about it because do you want to go around the league Monday and worry about it then?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get
Yeah,
through the
I
first
think
week and a half of
yeah,
teams.
I think this episode deserved. We talked about a lot of stuff because a lot of shit's been going on. In 2 days, by the way, fucking 2 games. This
2
shit happened.
days. Yeah.
Two games. Either way.
Also,
Here's what
by
I
the
want to
way,
see.
both of us picked the Cardinals to win the next 2 games. They didn't.
Yeah, it's okay. We didn't expect all hell to
We
break
did.
loose. And to be honest, they played good baseball. I still think they're playing good baseball. The weird thing about this pitching staff, and I know we were a little heated at the beginning of it, and honestly, kind of warranted because someone needs to step the fuck up. The problem I have with it is they're bad in the first 2 innings, and then they keep adjusting, and they're good for the next 3. So figure it out in the first 2 innings, please. And also, I want to say one more thing before we get to this Brewers series. I've seen a lot of tweets like, "Is Contreras a problem?" Which honestly, it's fair to ask that question because he has a new catcher and he doesn't know the pitching staff as well as you'd think, as you'd like, I guess, to this point. Steven Matz said he gave 2 home runs, both on pitches he shook Contreras off. He shook Contreras off twice, and they were both hit for home runs. So I'm really kudos to Steven Matz for saying that, taking the ownership of it and taking some of the blame off of the new catcher. I like that he did that. That's a lot of leadership there. But also, I don't think it's Contreras' fault. Also, fun fact before we move on, Contreras is 98th percentile in framing runs so far this year.
Is that good?
He's top 2% in framing.
All right. I don't.
He's
know
got the Yachty ghost inside of him. He's possessed.
So yeah, I'm not gonna go blame Wilson Contreras.
No, but I do understand.
I know.
Do you think it's fair though, when we talk about the pitching, something we didn't bring up, that we have a pitch clock, we have changing in climate, obviously, we have facing 2 of the best offenses in baseball, and we have a new starting catcher, that those 4 things can be working against him?
I mean, here's the thing. We talked about it on the last podcast that I brought up. Like, do you believe that the pitch clock has hurt the pitchers? I think here's what we saw. Yesterday, we saw Garrett Cole look really fucking good. Jacob deGrom comes out and strikes out 11. I'm not even going to say Ohtani because he does his thing every fucking night, right? Whatever. Awesome. But we also saw Manoah come back and pitch incredibly well. I did not happen to see what the Phillies did. I saw they lost, but I don't know how Aaron Nola pitched yesterday. Okay, good. So maybe it's that first time around. But the problem is we've seen Miles have 2 now. The adjustment. I do think there's an adjustment period.
And the shift's going away.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors in there. However, we saw Bryce Elder shove it up our ass, and we saw the young kid from SEMO from a small town, Illinois, also do that. And I told you, hey, they talk about the Ides of March, to beware of those. When you're a Cardinal fan, you beware young lefties you've never seen before. And that's
anyone. Bryce Elder's right-handed.
I told you, young anyone,
guys,
but especially lefties.
I just think there's those 5 things and the shift going away. That's why there's been a lot of hits. We pitched to contact, but those 5 things happening, they've all worked against the Cardinals rotation. And while I think it was warranted the way we just talked about them, I got like 30 minutes ago where we kind of aired them out, because I honestly think someone needs to step the fuck up. I'm tired of this shit. But I do think there are factors that can explain why a lot of things are working against them, including the fact that they faced 2 of the best offenses in baseball. Now we're going into this
You're going to have to beat those teams.
You fair, but also their pitching wasn't great against us, other than the 2 young guys. But the top guys, Morton wasn't great against us, and then the 3 pitchers. Gausman was really good.
Gausman was good.
Yeah, he's just really, really good.
Yeah,
he's so good. God, he's nasty. But this is a litmus test for me. We're out of Busch. We're going to Milwaukee. You're facing a team that's red hot. Like, their young guys, Terang and Weimer, 2 of their young prospects. They're killing it right now. Like, everything's clicking for them. You're going in. You're facing Brandon Woodruff, a guy we either get shut out by or we score 7 off of. What are you looking for? What are you looking for from the pitching staff? The hitting has been, I think we just look for more of the same for the hitting, but for the pitching staff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to echo what you said earlier. You've got to have a 1-2-3 inning. Like, also, maybe let's fucking score in the first inning too on the road, and maybe give our pitchers, because our pitchers have all 6 games. You're out there first, right, as a starting pitcher. Maybe allowing one of our pitchers to go out there with a lead. And I know that you talked about the shaking off and the hits and whatever. We have given up a lot of home runs. You've got it. Yes. The ball flies in Milwaukee. You've got guys who can hit bombs in that stadium. You've got to limit the home runs, and you've got to limit the counts not being in your favor. The 2-0s, the 3-1s. You've got to limit those, because those are obviously hitter counts. And then what you have to do, I think, for the offense is to come out and score early in those games to give our pitchers Let's see how we can pitch with a lead instead of giving up runs in the first inning every fucking day.
Yeah, and obviously it's hard if the offense can't get a lead if they're down already. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So also another factor I didn't even mention, Dusty Blake's new. So there's a lot of shit going on for the pitchers right now that's new. So I guess maybe we should give them a little bit more leeway than we have, because there's a lot of new shit going on there. Mike Maddox and Dusty Blake, not the same human being at all. They're completely different. But I think what I'm looking for is some balls, like have some balls. Go out there, take the ball. I don't care if you're feeling something. I don't care if you don't have your stuff. Put up zeros. Like, here's the thing, and we know this rotation is going to be better than it has been, because no rotation ever has a 7 ERA. But also, like, look at the guys that are in it. They're all proven guys besides Woodford, who isn't a bad pitcher by any means. I don't think he's a major league starter for a contending team, but he's not bad. So just go out there and give your team a chance to win every game. At the very least, we know that 4 out of the 5 guys are going to be able to do that every fifth turn normally. So just do that. And just, I don't know, like, stop giving up runs in the first 2 innings.
Yes.
Like stop. And that's the alarming thing to me too. Like, obviously in the first inning, you're facing the best hitters the other team has to offer, generally speaking. You can't let them hit you every time. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, you just can't let that happen.
Does seem to make sense.
You can't have Austin Riley and Matt Olson terrorize you.
We can't do this again. Like, here's the thing I'm going to say, and I'm not going to be a fatalist about this because it's April 6th. All right. So I'm simply saying, for the last 8 years, like I said earlier, we've watched our team stay competitive most of the time, go to the trade deadline, add a couple mediocre pitchers. That's no offense to the guys that we've gotten, but they haven't.
I think they're better than mediocre last year.
Okay, but career wise, not mediocre, barely above average. But we haven't got an impact guy. Most never done it. And if we continue that track, I don't know why we're looking for different results. All right, like the old adage, when you do the same thing over and over. But you can, Caleb, because it's 8 straight years.
But they're not looking for different results. I think that's the disconnect here. They're looking to get in the playoffs. They got in the playoffs both times.
I understand that. But we've talked on here, you have to have better at the top. You have to. Yeah. You have to. And I know that I've said, pitching didn't cost last year. That's fine. You still look at the Rays. They're 6-0. Why? Because their starting pitching comes out and shoves every fucking night.
And they lost their second best pitcher.
Yeah. I mean,
Glasnow.
Our starting pitchers are giving up, what will they have, a 7-something ERA?
Over
9 something, like whatever it is, that you can't win. Like, we can't win the Central buoyed, like that, let alone the NL.
No, and that's buoyed by a weird 5-inning shutout by Jack Flaherty.
Right, correct.
Like, so, like,
if you were honestly, it could be.
If you replay that game 10 times, probably have a 10 ERA in the rotation right now. Yeah. Like, let's be honest about it. So obviously you can't discredit Jack Flaherty. It was a ballsy performance, but still. Here's what I'm looking for, and then we need to get to our players and predictions, whatever. I'm looking for Jack Flaherty to set the tone. We said this earlier. I know Jack wants to be the guy. I know Jack can be the guy. Jack, be the guy. Do it. Be the guy. Take a hold of this rotation and don't look back. Waino's gone right now. Miles, the guy that you just extended that we talked about earlier, is struggling. The other 3 aren't leaders of a rotation. Go be the guy that leads the rotation and take it today against your division rival. After all this bullshit with Tyler O'Neill, after all the 3 getting swept and embarrassed by Atlanta, go take it. Like, it is there for you, Jack. Go take it. Pitch like you want a contract extension here, because he said he wants one. He's actually come out and said he's willing to talk about a contract extension here. Go pitch like it, please. Or else, like, I'm almost to a point with Jack.
I love that you're begging him.
I am begging Jack Flaherty.
That's where we are after 6 games.
Well, no, it's not 6 games. I'm begging Jack Flaherty to be the guy that we've come on here for so long and said he can be and is.
I know.
I believe he still can be that. Go be it, or I'm over it. Now, please.
Yep.
For the love of God.
Before we make our predictions and then we get out of here.
My player of the week was my player of the series was Miles Michaelis.
It was. Mine was Gorman, who had a pretty good series. By the way, good.
Got robbed a couple times.
Here's what I think 2 things that one that we have to say. We did not give enough love to Jordan Walker for his first career home run. Absolute missile. He's hitting everything that he hits is between like 85 and like 111. He's hitting the ball incredibly hard. He's near the top in almost every exit velo category. That was so cool. Hey, by the way, also got his curtain call.
He did. Tommy called a time. He used his timeout.
Yep.
Tommy there.
That That was
He
awesome.
had both
So I just think we need to get more.
yesterday.
This has been a pretty negative episode because of the fact, which
Warranted.
deservedly so, reality. But
better.
I think we have to give a little bit more love to what Jordan did and what Nolan Gorman have done and what Brendan Donovan continues to do. We are seeing some great things from this team. Fucking, like you said, pitching step up. And if they don't, Mo, in my opinion,
You stepped on Jordan Walker again. You stepped on Jordan Walker.
I did. I
Let's
didn't
talk
mean
about him
to.
for a second.
I was trying to summarize.
So obviously that home run was on a breaking ball, by the way, it's a missile. Then he comes out his next at bat and hits an RBI double with 2 outs in the ninth, because of course he does. He looks really good. People are gonna talk about his launch angle. He's 20 years old with a 6-game hitting streak to start his career. I could give a single shit about his launch angle right now. Like, it's not great. He's 20 years old with a 6-game hitting streak and just his first home run. I don't really care if he hasn't launched the ball like he will when he's 27 years old. He's 20, so let's relax. It looks great. Shout out to him. Cool moment. The last day before his parents went back to Atlanta, I think he said they were there and he hit the home run. So that's cool. Let's get to the players of the series, I guess we should say. You can go first, and then we'll go with predictions. Give your predictions and your player, and then we'll just go from there.
Predictions: we win 1 of 3. And I'm hoping for that. I'm just sorry. I don't trust her, but we get Lauer, and Peralta was nasty his first time as well. So, I think we win 1. I'm hoping we win 1. I think the offense continues to click. That is what we have to rely on. You're going to have to, at this point, it feels like you're going to have to win games 9-8. Like, it really does. Ryan Helsley has no room for error at the end, which is good that we have him there. But I just feel like the offense has to continue to click. My hope is, and my player is Jordan Walker for the weekend. I feel like maybe getting that home run off his back. He's already had some great at bats. He's having a very good start. I think you might see him go in a place like Milwaukee. Like, if he continues to hit sliders like he is, I think you could see him have a very solid series. So that's 1. Yeah. I'm calling 1 and 2 and Jordan Walker.
Okay. I'm saying we win 2 because I don't think I'll ever pick us to lose a series, if I'm being honest.
I was being nice saying 1.
We historically destroy Freddie Peralta. That's just a fact. Like, we shelled. He's like a 10 ERA against us in his career. I think the flight's positive. Hopefully there's been some messages sent. I can't imagine that they haven't talked about this in the clubhouse, all this stuff.
Right.
My player for the weekend is Tyler O'Neill. Multiple reasons. 1, obviously all the bullshit we just talked about. Like, I'm so sick of it. But all of that stuff, I think Tyler's a guy that hopefully can feed off of that. 2, the biggest thing I'm looking for tomorrow, he better be in the lineup tomorrow. And I say that not only because he's one of our best players, which he is, but also because he historically destroys Brandon Woodruff. Always has. He has like 3 homers against him. He's always been really good against Brandon Woodruff. He needs to be in the lineup. I think he's going to go off if he is. I think this could be good for him. And maybe this is one of those situations where Ollie's like, I kicked him in the butt and he needed it and he got him going. I hope that's what happens. But he's my player to watch out for. I was going to go Jack Flaherty. I was going to, because I really think Jack Flaherty is going to show up tomorrow. But Tyler's my player.
Okay. All right. It's almost impossible at this point right now. And I know it's only 6 games for me to ever say a pitcher is going to be the guy.
Jack's only one.
Until he comes out, it's been a long time since we've seen Jack come out and shove. So, that I love him. I know that you love him, but until I actually see him come out and shove, I can't pick. There's nobody on this. I will say it again right now. Even coming into this year, we were nervous. Nobody on this rotation where I look at and go, every 5th day, that guy's going to come out and shut down the other team's offense. We don't have one of those guys. We just don't right now. I'm not saying we couldn't. I'm not saying they won't become that. I'm saying right now, I don't see it.
No, we don't. We don't have that guy. We don't have win day, right? We have maybe we can win day. Like, we don't have, today, like for the Brewers, I know Burns got shelled the other day. It happens. He's human. But for the Brewers, it's, hey, Corbin Burns is on the mound. We're winning today. That's the feeling around the clubhouse.
Yeah.
That's what it was when Chris Carpenter was here. That's what it was when Michael Walker was on his crazy run in 2013. Guys can be.
John Lackey was here when Adam Wainwright was running his
for a couple years.
And for about 6 to 8 weeks, 2 seasons over each of those. For Flaherty, like longer than that. There for that
longer
1 year.
Than that.
2021. 6 months combined for 2 years. Flaherty. Every time he was going out, he was winning. But we haven't had that since then. We haven't.
He's got to do it, man. Like, he's got to do it, and I'm excited to see. the vibes better be better. That's one of the things I'm looking for as well. You better not be. Yesterday felt like a shitty game after
It
a shitty
did.
night that ended in a shitty fucking conversation to the media. It was just all bad. It was. I almost didn't want to watch the game that day.
Yeah.
And then it started out with Miles getting shelled, and I was like, well, this just sucks.
Yep.
I would not have thought we'd be here after that great series win against the Blue Jays. They got to clean it up. I do think, to be fair to Oli, because I know you criticize him heavily, and I don't like what he did either. I do like the decision to bring him in and have him pinch hit. I liked that he did that. I like that he didn't just shut him to the side, say you're not playing at all today. It was like, hey, we need you right now, so go and take an at bat. I like that
agree.
aspect of it. So at least he did something like that. I just don't want to hear about this ever again.
He destroyed. It was foul.
He missed it by this much.
Yeah.
And he was one batter away from getting up and being the tying runner, batter, I guess. So I don't know. Different vibes. I don't ever want to hear about this again. I don't want it to, if it's asked, I want to be shut down immediately by both of them.
Yep.
And the one thing that kind of frustrates me is I wish someone would have asked one of the veterans about this, like Goldie or Nolan. And I wanted to hear what they think about it, but they didn't. So I'm picking 2 of 3. It's hopeful. If they lose the series, I definitely won't be shocked. I think we got 2 teams going in different trajectories right now. But they can turn it around 6 games and like we're fine.
Well, for those of you listening on YouTube, if you could go ahead and hit that little subscribe button after we just spent an hour bitching, let's hope you're still with us. But again, this is reality. I think
a lot of people in this,
y'all know this isn't new, like our fandom, but right now this is where we are as a team. 6 games, that's it. But if you could hit that subscribe, that would we'd greatly appreciate that. As always, you can follow us on our Twitters and everything else. That'd be awesome. Facebook. We thank you all. Here's our hope. Our hope is that 1, you have an amazing weekend. I don't know what the weather looks like there. Down here, it is gorgeous outside, but we're supposed to get massive storms the next 2 days.
It's a little chilly, but it feels good. It's like a good chilly.
So hopefully you have an amazing weekend. 2, let's also be safe and be kind out there. Right now, we got a bunch of knuckleheads running their mouths out there. Let's just be nice to everybody, no matter who they are. That's all we need to do. 3, let's hope for a Cards series win. And that on Sunday, Kale will be in a better mood when we come to join everybody.
I think it's fair. Like, we're not going to apologize. We're going to be, there's a lot of people watching us now. This is a fan podcast. Okay. This is what we do. For 162, this is the emotions we're going to go through.
Yep.
This is conversations like this, hopefully not like the Tyler one, but like this are going to happen again. So we could be back and we could be like, damn, they just fucking swept the Brewers. Tyler O'Neill hit 7 home runs in 3 games. Things are great. Oli Marmol gave him a kiss and the lips on the way into the dugout, and all vibes are immaculate. We'll see where things go. But I mean, embrace the roller coaster, I guess. This is just what it is. As
a fan of The Godfather, if they're going to kiss, I just hope Oli doesn't kiss him on the cheek. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Also, watch fucking Succession. I'm almost through it the second time. It is even better the second time. That's all I can tell everybody out there. Watch the show. We're getting ready to start season 4 of the new season. It's unbelievable. So anyway, those are all my hopes for you guys for this weekend. Thank you as always for tuning in. Continue to comment on our stuff. Continue to follow us. Continue to subscribe us. We thank you all for supporting us. Have an amazing weekend. Take care of each other. Can't wait to talk to you Sunday. Go Cards.